Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So first up today, want to add some color to my tweet this morning. This is over a multi-year time period, so just want to keep expectations in check. When this type of move could happen again will be dependent on the incoming data month to month, how the Fed behaves over the course of the next year or two, and of course both fiscal and monetary policy, and you can throw in the war in Ukraine and supply chains to some degree as well. And sure, toss in commodity prices as well, but the point stands, I do still think there's some value in beginning to think more like this when it comes to your bigger, more impactful purchases and how the next few years may play out. Here we have a new video from the official Tesla Weibo account titled "The World's First Tesla Magic Factory Theme Store Landed in Chongqing." Just wanted to share a clip of this video because I think these drone flyovers or fly-throughs are very cool, and hopefully it can also serve as a reminder that Tesla will have different strategies for different retail markets around the globe. And I'd imagine we've lost some things in this translation right here, but as you can see, it feels a bit like a Tesla gallery where people can go, check out the cars, technology, and gather. We have Tesla Adri doing his best Sawyer Merritt impersonation, saying the first registration papers and the certificate of conformity have been sent out for the Model S Plaid in Europe. What else needs to be said other than now Tesla will have its flagship high-margin vehicle in a brand new market? It's not every day where I get to read the news and have the genuine thought, man, this is a really awesome thing for America, good people working toward a good mission. This article is exactly that. JB and Redwood Materials have reached a deal to supply Panasonic with billions of dollars in critical battery components that will be produced in the US for the first time. This is the first major contract for domestically produced cathode material, a substance that's responsible for more than 1/3 of the expense of a finished battery pack. The material will supply Panasonic's new plant in Kansas City that's supposed to start mass production in 2025. JB Straubel has said this is a large portion of their being Panasonic's cathode supply. It's such an impactful announcement for the US supply chain in general, and of course for us as a company. No detail on the price structure, but this will be billions of dollars over several years. Importantly, JB said the materials in Redwood's cathode will help EV makers qualify for the upcoming EV tax credit, but of course we're still waiting for official word on how this is going to work from the Treasury, and we should expect some level of changes to the Inflation Reduction Act due to all of the global pushback. And finally, we have a comment from JB that sounds like something Elon would say. We were already going at supersonic speeds, but the manufacturing provisions in Biden's climate plan were like what happens if you attach a rocket engine to a supersonic airplane. Eventually, this new Panasonic factory in Kansas City should surpass the production capacity of Giga Nevada, and Redwood is spending billions to bring this cathode production to 100 gigawatt hours per year by 2025, enough for around 1 million EVs. Then by 2030, their goal is 500 gigawatt hours per year. And I saved the best sentence for last. The plant is expected to produce cells primarily for Tesla electric vehicles. As far as I can remember, this is the first time I've seen confirmation like this on where the expected supply from this new Kansas City factory is set to go. Hopefully this is accurate and Tesla gets most of it. So again, awesome for America, awesome for JB Straubel, someone I am a big fan of, and I think about him every now and then. He did lose his wife, maybe either last year or this year, so just genuinely want to see good things for him as a person. All right, so all across the board in China, Tesla's wait times are now down to 1 to 5 weeks for all Model 3 and all Model Y variants. And just so you know, I did go to the Tesla China configurator to make sure that this information was accurate, and it was. So go ahead and insert the FUD of here's the Tesla demand cliff, it's the end of the road for Tesla, whatever sort of commentary you want to plug in. The reality of the situation though is twofold. One, I've been saying expect price cuts, expect shorter delivery windows, expect a decrease in demand, some compression to margin as we go through this recession. And second, and maybe more importantly, don't forget, Tesla China is in the midst of changing its strategy. So they're smoothing the delivery wave, they're changing the rate at which they do exports, they have a lot of end-of-year incentives going on for Q4, so they're basically playing games with the demand from different global markets. The point being, we should expect these wait times to continually fluctuate up and down in the months ahead. And from top to bottom, I will read what the wait times were before the changes earlier today. 4 to 8 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, 1 to 4 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, and 4 to 8 weeks. Not really a big deal, just business as usual given the circumstances. Hear me out. Would you pay less than $3 per month to make sure that all of your online activity and your personal information is totally private, no matter where you use the internet, plus a bunch of extra features? My answer to that question was yes, after seeing Matt Farrell recommend Surfshark a few years back. I wasn't really educated on VPNs, and honestly, I'm grateful that now I am. Here's a perfect explanation. If using the internet is like crossing a park from one end to the other, a VPN is a technology that allows you to cross that park in a private tunnel and completely away from public notice. Surfshark itself won't even track or store what you do online, so there's no record or activity log anywhere. But there's more. My favorite feature changes depending on my activity each month, but a consistent gem is Surfshark's Clean Web feature. It allows you to surf the web with no ads, no trackers, no malware, and no phishing attempts. And in case you're a tech nerd like myself and you have many devices in your home, Surfshark is a no-brainer. It's one of the only VPNs to allow unlimited devices on one account. Right now, there's a new Black Friday deal going on for Electrified listeners. You can get 85% off and 3 extra months for free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to try it for yourself. The link is in the description below. Remember, this week Elon is defending himself in court for his 2018 pay package. We got an excerpt from the first day in court.
Among those who took the stand on Monday, Ira Ehrenpreis, who has been a Tesla director since 2007 and chaired the committee that developed the pay package. Lawyers pressed him to explain why the board did not demand that Musk dedicate himself to the company full-time. In response, Ehrenpreis said, quote, "We never had the kind of relationship with Elon where he was punching the clock." A video clip of Musk from a previous deposition was played in court. He was asked if the board demanded he dedicate a certain amount of time to Tesla and replied, no, that would have been silly. Ehrenpreis said Musk and the board were focused on achieving targets, not time spent at Tesla. Tornetta wants the court to strip Musk of his pay package, arguing it should have required the CEO to work full-time at Tesla. He is not seeking damages for himself. Musk and Tesla's directors have denied Tornetta's claims. They say the pay package kept the entrepreneur focused on guiding Tesla through a critical period and led to a tenfold rise in its stock price. Musk is due to testify on Wednesday.
I do just want to touch on this one because this is getting a decent amount of traction today, but without knowing for sure, I'm fairly confident that the responsibility for these complaints at Giga Texas are going to fall on the contracting companies, not actually Tesla themselves. The way these contracts usually work, first and foremost, it should be the main contractor responsible for ensuring safe working conditions. And don't mishear me, that doesn't completely remove Tesla from any responsibility, but I'm just saying first and foremost. Just so you know, the complaints are about falsified credentials, there was a lack of training, some wage theft. Most of this is coming from one construction worker named Victor, saying things like, "I don't think it was humane," referring to how some of the construction workers were being treated. Specifically, Victor said he was directed to work on a metal roof at night with no lights, required to do labor on top of turbines that were blowing smoke without protective masks, and expected to keep up production on a flooded first floor despite observing there was live wiring all over the place and cords in the water. He remembers telling his wife, "I'm going to die in this factory." I, of course, don't have all the detail. I don't know what's really going on, so we'll just let this play out. But I am pretty confident that Tesla themselves are not just outright being negligent. Maybe the contracting company has some things to clean up, but we'll see how it plays out. We got some nice new comments from Charlie Munger on Tesla and Elon. Now, personally, I don't go to Warren or Charlie for my tech advice. However, they deserve respect, and it's good to hear what he had to say.
I was certainly surprised that Tesla did as well as it did. But I do not equate Tesla with Bitcoin.
Good.
Tesla has made some real contributions to civilization. Elon Musk has done some good things that other people couldn't do. We haven't had a successful new auto company in a long, long time. What Tesla has done in the car business is a minor miracle.
And as I said to Sawyer on Twitter earlier today, I think it's much more than a minor miracle that Tesla did survive. It'd be nice to have an official documentary for new fans and investors to appreciate what Tesla had to go through to get to where it is today. We're not going to dive into this one, but the New York Times actually did a very nice and a very balanced piece on Tesla's FSD with Chuck Cook. This article will be linked below if you want to check it out. I just wanted to give a shout out to the 4 people that worked on this piece because again, it was really nice to see a fair and balanced article on Tesla's FSD from the New York Times. I just want to go over one thing from this new note from Morgan Stanley on Tesla stock. The whole sentiment of the note is just that all of this uncertainty with Twitter and Elon, all of the fears in the market could be a buying opportunity for Tesla investors. You don't say. But this is what I wanted to highlight. They have their fiscal year 2022 expectation for earnings per share at $3.99. Then for 2023, they have it at $4.08. And in 2024, they have $5.39, when plenty of people have $7 per share for 2023. So Morgan Stanley is clearly pricing in some earnings compression here as we head into 2023. As I keep saying, I'm expecting margin compression. I'm expecting a demand slowdown into next year, but that can also be offset with the Inflation Reduction Act, at least in North America. So for me, weighing those factors, I find it very hard to see a scenario where Tesla does the same EPS next year as they did this year. We won't spend much time here, but the producer price index came out this morning. We get this reading once a month. And as you can see, it's on a nice downward trend. This is the 4th month in a row that we've seen this annual decline. Most importantly though, for the month of October, expectation was 8.3% and it came in at 8. And taking a look at the month over month change, it came in at 0.2. The expectation was 0.4. Very simply put, supply and demand are seemingly coming back into a better balance. And looking at the Fed's rate hike probabilities for the December meeting, we are still at 80.6% for a 50 basis point increase, unchanged from yesterday's data. So many commodity prices are coming down, but lithium is not one of them. The lithium price in China is still putting in new all-time highs. Battery-grade lithium in China has exceeded 600,000 RMB or $85,300 per ton. There are some lithium industry players saying they're not expecting any weakness in the price of lithium in China until the second half of 2023, which isn't great. And I thought this was a cool stat. For every 100,000 RMB increase in the lithium carbonate price, which is roughly a 20% increase from where the price is right now, that would be equivalent to a 2 percentage point impact on NIO's gross margin. DSU Slavi on Reddit has shared this, that Tesla insurance in Florida has been delayed with no new timeline, and maybe more exciting, they have a new version for the safety score, version 1.2, that should be rolling out. The company Tesla explained they're considering including this newer version of the telematics model in Florida. This would be version 1.2 for the authorities to review. We know plenty of people have been complaining for being dinged on their safety score when they really didn't do anything wrong. It was the software's fault. So hopefully version 1.2 can fix some of those issues. Another quick one from Reddit, but it looks like in the Tesla car UI, there's now this wheel and tire configuration. So if you change your tires for the winter, you can select winter tires, and it sounds like your car will recalibrate and potentially change the regen braking habits to try to keep it the same way it was with the prior tires. I missed this one last week, but it looks like Tesla is holding an event for the semi delivery, so make sure you're a verified retail shareholder. I will include a link to that below. I don't think they've done the drawing yet, but to attend this event, they'll be doing a random draw where one share is one entry. We won't dive into this one either, but just know there are some interesting tensions going on between Canada and China right now. Here we have a report of espionage from a worker at one of the hydro plants in Canada. A researcher who worked on battery materials was apparently gathering data and sending it to China, and this was at Hydro-Quebec, the 4th largest hydropower producer in the world. Trudeau said last week China was playing aggressive games with the country's democratic institutions, and we just saw Canada ask China to basically divest from some lithium investments, so something to keep an eye on. And last up for today, as I'm recording, Lucid is hosting an event on YouTube to unveil the Air Touring and the Air Pure. Don't forget, check out Surfshark linked below to take advantage of that Black Friday deal. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.